Hello, this is eSpin Adam. We're happy to assist you with the upcoming presentation. Let us know if you need any help, and we'll be glad to be of service. Single sign-on, SSO, benefits, drawbacks, and best practices. In today's digital world, where we have countless accounts and passwords to remember, single sign-on, SSO, has become a crucial solution for managing and securing our online identities. With SSO, users only need to remember one set of login credentials to access multiple applications, services, and websites, making their online experience faster, simpler, and more convenient. The need for SSO arises from the increasing number of online services we use on a daily basis, from social media and email to online shopping and banking. Each of these services requires a unique login, and managing multiple accounts can be overwhelming and time-consuming. Moreover, the weak passwords people tend to use to avoid forgetting them can compromise their online security. To address these challenges, SSO technology emerged, allowing users to authenticate their identity once and access multiple applications securely. This technology not only simplifies the user experience but also enhances security by eliminating the need for weak and repeated passwords. This presentation will explore the rise of single sign-on, SSO, understand what is SSO, its benefits, and the different types of SSO solutions available in the market today. What is single sign-on, SSO? Single sign-on, SSO, is a session and user authentication service that permits a user to use one set of login credentials to access multiple applications. The service authenticates the user for all the applications the user has been given rights to and eliminates further prompts when the user switches applications during the same session. SSO offers a wide range of benefits to both users and organizations, but it also presents security risks that must be taken into account. In this response, we will explore SSO in detail, including its functionality, benefits, drawbacks, and best practices. How does SSO work? SSO works by allowing users to authenticate themselves once with a single set of credentials, such as a username and password. Once authenticated, the user is granted access to all the applications they have permission to access, without needing to re-enter their credentials. There are several ways that SSO can be implemented, but the most common approach is through the use of authentication protocols such as Kerberos and the Security Assertion Markup Language, SAML. In a basic web SSO service, an agent module on the application server retrieves the specific authentication credentials for an individual user from a dedicated SSO policy server. The SSO policy server authenticates the user against a user repository, such as a lightweight directory access protocol, LDAP, directory, and returns a token that the agent module uses to authenticate the user for all the applications they have access to. This token is usually a cookie or a URL parameter that the agent module passes to the other applications the user accesses during their session. SAML-based SSO services are more complex but offer greater security and flexibility. These services involve communications between the user, an identity provider that maintains a user directory, and a service provider. When a user attempts to access an application from the service provider sends a request to the identity provider for authentication. The identity provider verifies the user's identity and returns an assertion that the service provider uses to log the user in. The user does not need to log in again for the rest of their session. Kerberos-based SSO works by issuing a ticket granting ticket, TGT, once the user credentials are provided. The TGT fetches service tickets for other applications the user wishes to access, without asking the user to re-enter their credentials. What are the benefits of SSO? The use of single sign-on, SSO, offers various benefits to both users and businesses. The benefits for users include convenience, transparency, speed, and security. Convenience is one of the most significant benefits for users. They only need to remember one set of login details, making it easier to access multiple sites and apps without having to remember multiple login credentials. By connecting their site to their login credentials at Google or Facebook, users can log in easily, and even sporadic users can remember how to log in. Transparency is another benefit for users. They know what data is being shared from one system to another, and they have the option to opt out of sharing specific information. This transparency gives users greater control over their data and privacy. Speed is another benefit of SSO. Users can sign up and log in quickly, without having to go through lengthy verification processes. This is because the trusted authenticator, such as Facebook or Google, has already verified the user's identity and collected their data. Security is also a significant benefit for users. With SSO, users only have to manage one set of login credentials, making it easier for them to create and maintain strong passwords. Additionally, since the trusted authenticator manages the authentication and password heavy lifting, users have peace of mind knowing that their data is secure. For businesses, the benefits of SSO covers many areas, from productivity, security, user experience, costs, compliance and auditing, to cross-platform access and even integration. Firstly, SSO increases productivity by reducing the amount of time users spend logging into different applications. This streamlined login process enables employees to be more efficient and focus on their core responsibilities. Moreover, SSO enhances security by eliminating the need for users to remember multiple usernames and passwords, reducing the risk of password-related security breaches. Administrators can also enforce strong password policies and control access to applications more effectively, ensuring that only authorized personnel have access to sensitive information. Additionally, SSO improves the user experience by providing a seamless login experience for users and eliminating the frustration of having to remember multiple passwords. This can lead to increased customer satisfaction and loyalty, ultimately driving revenue growth. Another significant benefit of SSO for businesses is cost savings. SSO can reduce IT costs by simplifying user management, reducing help desk calls related to password resets, and minimizing the need for hardware authentication tokens. SSO also aids businesses in compliance and auditing. It provides a centralized way to manage access to applications, making it easier to audit and comply with regulatory requirements. Furthermore, SSO provides cross-platform support, allowing users to access applications across different platforms, including web applications, mobile devices, and desktop applications. This can improve collaboration and teamwork by providing easy access to shared applications and data. Finally, SSO enables seamless integration with other technologies, such as identity management systems, to provide a more comprehensive solution for managing user access. This allows businesses to manage access to their applications and data more effectively, reducing the risk of unauthorized access and data breaches. Drawbacks of SSO. Despite its many benefits, SSO also presents some drawbacks and security risks. Some of the most significant drawbacks include: security risks. SSO presents significant security risks, as a hacker who gains control over a user's SSO credentials will be granted access to every application the user has rights to, increasing the amount of potential damage. Complexity. Implementing SSO can be complex and time-consuming, as it involves integrating multiple systems and protocols. SSO Best Practices. Single sign-on (SSO) is a powerful tool that can simplify and enhance the user experience by allowing users to sign in once and gain access to multiple applications without having to enter their credentials again. However, successfully implementing SSO requires careful planning and execution to ensure that the user experience is improved and security is not compromised. Therefore, to successfully implement SSO, organizations need to understand its best practices. The best practices of implementation of SSO include: 1. Define the SSO strategy. Before implementing SSO, organizations should define their SSO strategy, including the applications that will be included in SSO, the identity provider (IDP) that will be used, and the authentication protocol that will be used. Organizations should also consider the level of assurance required for each application and ensure that the chosen IDP and authentication protocol meet these requirements. 2. Choose the right identity provider. The identity provider is the system that authenticates the user and provides the authentication assertion to the service provider (SP). Organizations should choose an identity provider that meets their security and compliance requirements and can integrate with the applications that will be included in SSO. 3. Choose the right authentication protocol. It is crucial for organizations to adopt the protocol that best meets the needs based on the security and compliance requirements of their applications. There are several authentication protocols available for SSO, which are: SAML, an XML-based standard used for exchanging authentication and authorization data between parties, particularly between an identity provider, IDP, and a service provider, SP. SAML enables users to log in once and gain access to multiple applications without the need to provide login credentials again. OpenID Connect. OpenID Connect is a modern, OAuth-based authentication protocol that is built on the foundation of OAuth 2.0 framework that offers an identity layer on top of OAuth, thus enabling users to authenticate with a third-party identity provider, IDP, instead directly with the application. OAuth, an authorization framework that allows third-party applications to access resources on behalf of a user without requiring the user's credentials. The use of OAuth is common in granting access to social media accounts, online banking, and other web-based services. 4. Adopt the SSO infrastructure. Once the SSO strategy has been defined, and the identity provider and authentication protocol have been chosen, the SSO infrastructure should be implemented. This includes configuring the identity provider, configuring the service providers, and setting up the necessary trust relationships between the identity provider and the service providers. Test the SSO implementation. After the SSO infrastructure has been implemented, it should be thoroughly tested to ensure that it works as expected. This includes testing the authentication flow, testing the integration with the applications, and testing the security of the system. 5. Roll out SSO to users. Once the SSO implementation has been tested and validated, it can be rolled out to users. Organizations has to provide clear instructions on how to use SSO and how to troubleshoot any issues that may arise. Monitor and maintain the SSO system. SSO systems should be monitored and maintained to ensure that they continue to meet the organization's security and compliance requirements. This includes monitoring for security vulnerabilities, monitoring system logs, and performing regular audits. In conclusion, SSO is an efficient solution that streamlines the user experience and improves security for businesses. However, to make the most of SSO, organizations must balance convenience and security, carefully manage user access, and adhere to best practices to ensure a successful implementation. With these measures in place, SSO can provide a range of benefits to both users and organizations alike. eSpin is dedicated to building a value-added ecosystem for its customers, suppliers, and business partners, with the belief that everyone can benefit from working together. Together everyone achieve more equals team. If you are a potential new supplier or business partner with value-adding solutions, or a new customer looking for trustworthy solutions, please feel free to reach out. eSpin is always eager to explore ways to create synergistic outcomes for all parties involved. This is the underlying philosophy of eSpin Business. Thank you for watching our presentation. We hope it was valuable and informative. For questions, contact us at info@espincorp.com or visit our website. Thank you again and have a great day.